So, good evening, all. My name's Tim Scarborough. Welcome back to the Engagement Room, session 11, with our special speaker tonight, Maria Leggett-Gulder or Guldner.
Guldner. You said it
Guldner.
right.
Okay. All right, then. She is the founder and CEO of Maria's Sauce Company out of Traverse City, Michigan, some place where I had a cousin Donna that lived there for a little while. Her
Interesting.
presentation tonight is titled Make Yourself Uncomfortable and Do the Damn Thing. And it's all about being resourceful, making yourself uncomfortable, dealing with imposter syndrome, and finding the mission as the fuel to your success, not motivation. Maria is a classically trained chef who has honed her craft over a decade in Italy, Chicago, and Seattle, specializing in Italian and Mediterranean cuisine. What started as a custom sauce for a friend in 2023 evolved into Maria's hot sauce, which is based out of Michigan. It's a small batch, shelf perfected hot sauce that blends traditional techniques with bold and unexpected flavors. She is a 2024 Northern Michigan Hospitality Award recipient, Great Lakes Institute Alumni of the Year, and Maria brings us tonight a professional expertise in every bottle. Let's welcome our speaker, Maria. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. That was like a really awesome introduction. I was not expecting that.
Good. There you go. All right. So I'm gonna pin you, and the floor is yours.
Wow. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I have a hot sauce company, and these are some of my bottles. So, if you guys love hot sauce, check out mariashotsauce.com. Smoking hot sauce is our flagship. Hot sauce. So if you guys love a good medium that's smoky, check that out. So yes, my presentation is all about doing the damn thing. I like to swear and I'll use the F word, but I might just keep it PG for tonight. PG-13, I mean. Um, Something that has really stuck with me throughout my entire career has been this quote. Confidence doesn't come from shouting affirmations in the mirror. It is the evidence that it's the built up evidence that you really are who you say you are. And that is a wonderful quote by Alex Hormozy. I'm paraphrasing at this point. He says it way more eloquently than I do, in my opinion. So look him up if you're into business and all the things. So what does that mean? Well, we all deal with doing new things and not feeling super amazing about it. Our brain is here to keep us safe. So, how do you just do the thing? Well, coming from a person who has had multiple jobs in multiple industries, dealing with a lot of people pleasing tendencies and feeling insecure half the time with their skill set and not believing in themselves, I should know, definitely. Um, how to just hone in on the uncomfortable and lean into it and just do the thing. Use your resources and find new ones because sometimes when you don't know where to go, you just kind of figure it out. And I know that sounds so simplistic, and we get so much in our heads about it. I've had a lot of conversations with people about imposter syndrome. I fully believe that imposter syndrome is a fake thing that we have been told in society to feel, lean into, and not necessarily overcome. And I completely think that's absolute horseshit. You are always going to feel some type of unworthiness or um, uncomfortable because you've just never done it before. You don't see the evidence. So of course you're going to be not confident about it. Duh. I mean, like that's just how it is. So when I started in the food industry, well, let's fast forward a little bit. I'm going to say hot sauce. So I accidentally in my career had found myself in hot sauce, and this was about halfway through where I am now. So 5 years I had been in the food industry and I didn't know what I was doing. I had done some consulting for this hot sauce company, and they saw something in me that I definitely did not see in myself. And I stuck around there for 3 years, and I literally turned into the chief operating officer, and I didn't even know it. I did shipping, I did logistics in that way. I did batch coordinating, I did um, batch making and marketing and selling and all of the things in the business that I had never done before. Now, if you know restaurants, restaurants are one thing if you've ever done restaurant work. And then consumer packaged goods, like hot sauce, is a completely different animal, as I quickly found out. And so there were a ton of moments where I felt like I was so in over my head. I was underwater most of the time. And all of us really didn't know what necessarily the brand needed to look like. But I believed and I bought into the vision. The vision was to have this hot sauce company be the hot sauce company of Michigan. And I just believed in it so much and so hard that I just kept showing up, no matter how many times I got punched in the face, no matter how many times I like looked stupid or felt cringe or whatever. And a lot of those lessons I use today. Tim found me live selling on TikTok, my product. And I run into people every day. If you guys listen to Gary V at all, Gary Vaynerchuk, you should look him up. If you don't already, literally he asks every single live that he does, if you drop it in the chat, if you live sell. And I see all these comments saying, oh, I can never do that. I can never do this, blah, blah. And it's like so many people are afraid of looking stupid, cringe, all the things. And there's a moment where you have to ask yourself, why am I giving my power away to those people in the way of trying something new? And actually, maybe it works. And then my dreams all come true. Like, why would you give that power away for that? I know I kind of jumped around there. Anyways, another thing that has made me super uncomfortable in this industry is AI. And that is a huge topic right now. And when I first started my hot sauce company, because I wanted to do things so different, I fully immersed myself and met people on TikTok all about marketing and what it is now and how to really hone in on what the pulse was so I can move my business forward and become a national brand because that's what I want to do eventually. And so these conversations with AI made me so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. And like I would cry. Like that's how much it made me uncomfortable. After I got some practice, I now use like multiple AI platforms. And I think a lot of why it made me so uncomfortable is because it's obviously unknown. You hear all these like crazy stories about AI, like, oh yeah, it made so and so do this and this and this, or it went rogue and then whatever. And you keep hearing those like that fear mongering, all the things. But I learned and taught myself how AI is a tool. And I didn't even know if I was doing it right, but seeking out the resources that I did helped a lot. And so that helped me grow and build my brand faster than anything you could imagine. I have to say, besides being a chef and making hot sauce, I am now like a novice coder, like using the tools that I have using the tools that I have thank you, Tim. Using the tools and the resources that I was given, I really use AI like a teammate now. And I bounce ideas off. I don't have the luxury yet in my cash flow to use a human to even accelerate that, but that is the goal eventually. So don't worry, guys. Like AI is a tool, and I definitely encourage everyone how to use it properly. And that goes with a lot of education. Um, So we talked about live selling. That was super uncomfortable, like QVC style. But that is the future. And like not leaning into that, I wouldn't have as much growth as I do now. I wouldn't have as many repeat customers that I do now. I was actually just at an event before this, like a networking, like a local networking event. And somebody asked me, like, what is my returning customer rate? It's about 20 to 30% across all platforms. And so I really accredit my uncomfortability to my growth as a business. And I I'm not going to give my power away to someone else's perception of me being cringe or otherwise. Um, and sometimes it's hard to like keep showing up, but instilling your conviction in your vision and your values always will get you across that finish line wherever that next goalpost is. I fully believe that. I want to help small farms. I want to create value add for them. I want to put more money in their pockets. Thinking about the stories that they have about people taking their own lives because they're under so much pressure and bankruptcy looming because they're going to lose their farm. That is what I that's why I do what I do. Now, on top of all of this, I have a podcast, and I've never done a podcast before this. It's called the Spicy Chef Podcast, and it's things and questions that I ask that I feel that is important, which include the food system and how can we change it. Um, I don't care if people don't like my interview style unless it's constructive feedback. I don't care if people disagree about who I have on. I really just want to hear people's perspectives and their experiences, especially in our state for now. I really want to hear all across the country, but Michigan is actually very agriculturally forward. We grow, just a fun fact, we grow as many varieties as California. We just have a shorter growing season. With the exception of like citrus. Yeah, we grow in maybe almond trees, but still, like we can still grow 300 varieties of things. So we are one of the most agriculturally diverse states. And sticking up for small farms and producers who are doing that noble, in my opinion, noble work is really important to me. And again, that's just what keeps me up in the morning, gets me up in the morning, and sometimes keeps me up at night. I've had an issue a lot in my life of a pattern that I've had to break myself of being fearful of showing up a certain way or showing up where it caters to someone else's expectations. And that has hindered me so much. Looking back, trying to people please and recognizing that pattern now and actually like getting a hold of it. I feel so much more empowered in my life now, being a broke startup The business is thriving, but I'm broke as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I feel so much more confident now than I ever have in my entire career. Like in anything that I've done. You because you have to rely, like not that you don't have a support system, but relying on yourself for your own validation and learning how to recognize valid like small little wins in your business. It teaches you not to wait for that confidence. Like you don't have to wait for the clarity. You don't have to wait for the permission, and you just have to shove yourself off a cliff and trust and learn how to trust yourself. And entrepreneurship has been so valuable for me in that way. Even when I get analysis paralysis, there's still like tools in the toolbox of going for a walk, meditating, or like things that I want to do to deal with that. But the analysis paralysis doesn't last as long, if that makes sense to everyone. Honestly, I have a huge fucking chip on my shoulder, guys, and I said I wouldn't swear, and I'm so sorry.
You just
But
keep on going. That's what counts.
I have been so in fear of like being seen trying and being judged. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm very loud and outspoken, but if you were talking to me a little over a year ago, I would be a completely different person. And I'm not just saying that. I've gone through this like huge metamorphosis of like, I'm going to be as loud as shit about my product because I am making a difference and I have so much conviction and my values align with my mission that I just I don't care. I don't care if I get an email saying how I use AI in my bottles for my portraits and that I'm putting people out. Like that's not true. That is not true at all. And or like people blocking me because they're another hot sauce maker and found me to be something I don't even know because I can't even like have a conversation with that person now. I'm not gonna say I made it, but I know that I feel like I'm on the right path because I'm getting these like little blocks. Okay. And in these moments, imposter syndrome can like creep in of like, oh no, am I doing something wrong? Or whatever the case may be in your brain, like freaking out because you've never experienced this type of interaction before. No, it's not, in my opinion, like, and in my experience, it is not something you're doing wrong. And it's probably something you're doing right. So allowing yourself to just experience that experience without any judgment and kind of think about it instead of like making a decision right away and leaning into the old programming is to your benefit because then you can overcome this imposter syndrome. And I use that in quotations because I don't believe it really exists. We've just never encountered a lot of things in our life, and we're doing a lot of new things in our businesses that we've never done before, or maybe haven't even tried. And so, um, understanding, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So, understanding that sometimes how you feel, yeah, you can feel bad in the moment, but sometimes it's lying to you. I hate to say it, but it really does. And if you want to lean into it for a little bit, I mean, cool. Like if you want to feel it and like go have a moment, cool. But like there's this moment where you can't perpetually feed it. I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and he's like, well, I wake up and you choose which dog to feed every single morning. And so I found that really profound. And that just kind of reminded me of that just now. So I guess really overall, imposter syndrome is who are you feeding at the end of the day? Or even the start of the day? Who do you choose? or even in the middle of the day. Sometimes things can come up and you're like, oh shit, like, well, that happened. And then you feel all weird and like all this other stuff. Are you going to keep feeding that weird feeling, or are you just going to kind of like be neutral about it? I think a lot of the time in this society, we're just like so gaslit and just like so forced to feel one way or another about something and never neutral about something, and really just kind of sit with it for a second to really study it. So I guess the question that I'm trying to, I guess my question for the audience, obviously rhetorical, um, but what are you not allowing yourself to sit with? What are you just completely assigning right in that moment? I will say to everyone, as I am having this conversation with you all, I am not special. I can do what anyone does. It's just, it's just like I've chosen to just start before I'm ready. I've just chosen to like throw myself into it. And having a hot sauce company, I understand, like, I have a little bit of a background. I understand the processes and things like that. But, like when I only had this one product last March. I only had this one bottle. I didn't have these two and this guy. I just had the one. And I was trying to figure out how to sell the one kind, the one bottle. And I put myself in rooms that made me super uncomfortable. Like I felt like I wasn't cut out for anything. I wasn't meant to be there. Like I'm too small. I'm too this. My brand's not ready. Blah, blah, blah. Like all these things. And the thing is, like, you have to start before you're ready. And you have to, like I said, you have to choose which dog to feed every single morning. And whatever dog that is for you, there you go. Now, there's one thing that I keep reminding myself at the end of the day is that the version of me that has every goal, everything that I've wanted to have, freedom in this life, she already exists. And I just need to tap into that more because I am that person. I am her already. She's just still becoming. So I encourage you all to remain neutral and lean into the hard because you can fucking do it. I know you can. It just takes a lot of grit. And as Tony Robbins says, if you stay in your head, you're dead. So don't be dead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. Let's give her a round of applause, guys. We've had a few more people come in. So thank you so much.
Fabulous.
You can actually see the you can see the little symbols of people actually
I
doing.
love it.
Yeah, so that's one of the values of doing this on Zoom. You can get all this snazzy little things going on here. So
Yeah.
that's good. All right,
I love them.
yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna change this up a little bit. Change the view. We have multi-speaker view, and let's see. Make sure I'm gonna remove the pin, and that way you and anyone else can come up. Now, I'm gonna start off because I knew you first, and I'm just gonna do this. All right.
Okay.
So everyone, I tried Maria's stuff. It is some of the best things ever. And I did an active review for her that worked out very, very well for her. I hope she got a few sales of it. But Maria, like, I've got my boozy honey. You've got this fantastic brand of, of your hot sauces. What do you think, like, over the last year? What do you think is your greatest accomplishment? of all that you've done so far?
Gosh, that's so hard. Ah, what is my greatest accomplishment? That is so hard for me because sometimes, like, just like everyone else, I'm sure, I have blinders on half the time. Well, maybe three quarters or 70, like the 75 to 90% of the time. And I just like blinders on, keep going, because I know the business is growing. I think the greatest accomplishment that I've had in the last year is how much I've moved past my limiting beliefs. And a particular situation comes up where I had just met my TikTok fam, I'll call them, and they are angel investors, they're other founders, they're capital like people. They've been in business for a long, in the business realm for a long time. And um, I was on TikTok live with them, and I had made my goal last year of 1,500 bottles. And they're like, "Well, where are you now?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm at 158." And they're like, "Okay, so do you have chips?" And I'm like, "I mean, yeah, I have crackers." And they're like, "Well, do you have a table?" "Well, yeah, we have patio furniture we can set up outside." "Okay, great. Go get your bottle, get samples, and put them where you can outside and literally do samples out on the sidewalk right now." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, go do it. Why the fuck are you talking to us? Go do it." And I did. And I filmed it and I put it on TikTok. Mostly for a playback tape because I wanted to hear like a sales playback basically. Like what worked, what didn't, all the things. But the thing is, I had been out of the hot sauce sales realm for like sales in general for about 2 years at that point. So it didn't really occur to me to do that. And I think getting myself out of that comfort zone of not of being so pulled away and being shoved back into it again, that was my greatest accomplishment last year. And I succeeded my goal. I actually went way past my goal and sold 2,800 bottles last year instead of
Hey,
1,500.
that's excellent. Good for you.
So it
Congratulations.
does work when you
Excellent.
put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
That's why I do shows and expos and things like that. That's as bad, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So who's our next person with a question?
Well, I have one, Tim.
Yes.
What other alliances have you made to help you sell your product with the farmers, with food like in the summertime when you have fruit and vegetable markets, with a restaurant to get one bottle
Mm-hmm.
on your table? And
Mm-hmm.
how do you start that first sentence when you meet them?
Yeah. That's a great question. Um, so yes to all of the above. We have retail partners, we have restaurant partners, particular one restaurant that I've been friends with for a while now. Um, they had a hot sauce and they weren't happy with the customer service that they gotten. And so at that time, I had just launched last March with the smoking hot sauce. Um, and I'm like, I can do this and I can match their price and I can do this and this and this for you. And that was my first customer. So I've had that relationship in general for the last like 2 years. Maybe, no, it was sooner than that, or it was later than that. It was, I think, 2023, early 2023, that I had made this relationship in general. And so, even though that relationship was existing, it was still nerve-wracking to like go up to them and be like, "Hey, you should carry mine instead." And it's different in that aspect to answer your question of like, how do you approach that? You just kind of ask, to be honest. Like you just kind of mention it. If you get rejected, you get rejected. Rejection is a whole nother topic for everyone, by the way. And honestly, to me, the short answer to that is just repetition over time. And then it builds and builds and builds. So with retailers and getting into there, honestly, my line is, hey, I'm a local hot sauce company. You guys like local. We support local farms. And, you know, it's really great tasting hot sauce. If you don't believe me, try it for yourself. And that's it. And they'll say yes a lot of the time because the product really, at the end of the day, kind of speaks for itself. Yeah, we have cheeky language and we have like a fun label and all the other things. But if you don't have a good product, at the end of the day, why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, I think I heard you say you're from Michigan,
I am.
which is a huge college state.
Yes.
To me, your product seems like a natural fit for all those parties they have.
Sure.
Have you approached any of the colleges?
I have not. The old hot sauce company that I used to work for actually has deals with logoed hot sauces with them. So I'm not sure what that looks like yet, to be honest. If that even is in the cards for us. Maybe the smaller community colleges would be willing to give us a try. I think that possibilities are endless, and it just depends, like, you know, it just depends on how you want to scale and who you want to target. And at the end of the day, like, who's going to buy your product? Do you want to go the way of, do you want to have food service be a huge part of your wholesale customer point? You know, it just really depends on your strategy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so who's our next person? Who's got the next question? Chrissy, I know you had went and peeked at the website. I put your website in a chat out there where everyone can take a.
I saw
look
that.
at
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and I think Chrissy might be your new subscriber. So,
Fabulous.
yeah. So let's see. I wanted to ask you too. Now I'm looking at your product here. Now, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh my God, you guys. Holy crap. Sorry. I want to share this with everyone.
Yeah, go
Holy
ahead.
shit. There are people who want a sample of hot sauce through
TikTok?
No, through Range Me. So Range Me is,
Oh,
sorry, I have my computer up with my notes and I just
Mhm.
minimized it and it's on my
Yeah.
email right now. So thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean
No,
to
no.
like scare anyone.
No, that's fine. Okay, so right here, I mean, is this your own barcode here on?
Yes, it is a GS1
Okay.
certified barcode. If you folks are doing any type of retail products, I do recommend going through gs1.us.org and make sure it is GS1 accredited, because there is fake ones out there. So
Right.
they're universal.
So that's your
There
UPC
has
then,
been,
right?
yes, yep. And there's been talk of them moving to QR codes and all that shit. I don't know if they really will, but
Yeah.
you know, we'll have to change them when they do. Not a big deal. I'll still own the UPC. So
Yeah. I haven't done that yet with the Boozy Bee, but gonna get to it. So
sure.
Yeah, I'm still learning about that. So I need to get into that. So all right. So
Yeah.
who's our next question? Cynthia, Chrissy, Linda?
I'll go.
Okay, Chrissy, go ahead.
What actually motivates you to keep going and to ignore every naysayer that tell you that you cannot do it?
That's a really great question. Because those negative Nancy's can really fucking bring us down. Am I right?
Yes.
I think it's
They're
all,
irritated.
yes, I agree. And it's all about who you surround yourself with, in my opinion. Now, you're going to get those naysayers, but you know, if you, it's going to sound so simplistic, but if you have enough conviction in what you're doing, it makes it a little easier. I have endured my own negative Nancy's, even in my inner circle, like my very close family. And even people, girl, I can tell you shit. Okay, there was one week, I will tell you this, and this was only a couple weeks ago, where I literally kept having people come in who are business owners, but not in my industry, who I've known for a while, so they felt that they could speak candidly, come in and be like, how's the hot sauce business going? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, why are you in this industry? This is so saturated, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, it was a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. And the reason why it bothered me way less is because I had listened to a podcast or something or other. It was a reel or whatever earlier in the week.
Probably Gary V.
It was probably that of being like, just talking about why would you start something in a saturated market? And the simple answer is because everyone's doing it, that's even more reason to do it.
Mhm.
And I even looked up and I did a whole thing research for like 10 minutes because GenSpark is amazing. You guys should look into GenSpark AI. They do a ton of research and it is very thorough. Like it takes like minutes to do research. Anyways, genspark.ai. I thought with this AI, and I asked it like, hey, please do this deep dive research on the hot sauce industry, growth trends, like trends with flavors, all the things. The hot sauce industry is going to grow it's at 5.7 billion right now. It's going to grow to 8 billion in the next 4 to 5 years based on those projections. And those are real projections. I'm not making this up. But considering that amount of growth in that short period of time, why wouldn't I be a part of that? And a lot of people say negative things because they don't know. They are fearful because it's not within their narrative of what you do. So they're basically self-projecting. So why the fuck should you listen to them?
Mm-hmm.
They're not where you want to go or where you want to be. It is taxing if you do take that on. I'm not gonna, sugarcoat that. But you always choose, again, which dog to feed in the morning. If your conviction is deep-rooted enough, you will always find the strength and persistence. Always.
No, I agree. Now, Cynthia and her husband have been in screen printing for a long, long time, and I know Cynthia, I'm sure, has dealt with some similar types of challenges like that as a small business person. Because I mean, she and her husband have one of the biggest screen printing companies in the region, but I
Oh,
know
wow.
they weren't always that way. This is in
Sure.
Southern Illinois. Cynthia, would you have anything to offer on that with Maria?
Yes, Maria, I did not start the business, which is called Silkworm. My husband Bob did. He started right out of high school with another
That's so cool.
student. Yes. And they struggled when they first started because people thought they were just kids and they had difficulty getting loans through the bank. And they just kept at it, making one customer after the other. They had to do a lot of cold calls to get their first orders.
Yeah.
They didn't always have the cash. Cash flow was difficult. You're making product for people, but they're not always paying you. So you have to wait for that next check so you can make the next thing. That was 45 years ago. So the challenges, of course, are doing just what you're doing, saying, hey, I've got the passion for this, I have the skill for this, I'm going to do it. And then trying just getting people on board with you, because I'm sure as your business grows, you're going to have other people working with you. And I was going to ask you that, do you have anybody else helping you make product?
Yes, so my co-founder Vanessa, who I originally made the hot sauce for, she does make the product as well as does back end things. So I've taught her regulation, I've taught her all these things. And what's interesting about my role and how it's already changed and evolved is a lot of a teacher. And it gets to be a lot sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I do have help in that sense.
Well, there is a book out there that when we got to about the 30-year mark, we got involved in business development, and there was a book called the E-Myth, and it's the entrepreneur myth. And so many people feel like, oh, the technician side of people, I can do a better job at this than my boss can, so they start their own business. But you're nodding your head, you must know about this, that you can be a technician, you can know how to do the thing, but do you know how to manage it? Do you know how to manage the money? Do you know how to manage the people? Do you know how to manage what the government requires of you? And then, of course, then there's the entrepreneur, which is how far ahead can you see of your business? Are you willing to change your products, add to your products, which it sounds like you are. You already have started developing products and taking ideas from other people to continue to grow your product line. But it's a nice little book to read. It's not hard to read, but it's called the E-Myth, and it's been around for quite a while. So I would recommend
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I'll have to take a read on that. And I think
Okay.
as your team grows as well, you kind of have to understand and play to your strengths. And I had a conversation with another entrepreneur. He is a small boutique winery owner. And we got talking about its workplace. Shoot. It's something about workplace, and it's one of those, like, not Myers-Briggs, but it's like how the gears in your business like work in your team. And I took the quiz, and I'm a galvanizer and a tenacity. So I can rally and I can get the shit done. So that's an interesting study to really lean into when building a team in your business. And again, playing to your strengths, because honestly, I don't want to do books. I really fucking suck at it. So Vanessa kind of balances me out that way, having the conversations of, hey, what is our budget? What can I spend? What can we invest in this month? Basically.
Perfect. You definitely need to have somebody like that. And that's how Bob's business grew, was the back and forth. You had very charismatic sales, and then the methodical production and watching the numbers. And then as you add people, you add the people that have the additional strengths, the HR, the business management, other side of it. So congratulations. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah, she has a great brand, and I'll put her right up next to Louisiana hot sauce and stuff like that. Her products are awesome. Okay,
That's
so
very
we're
kind
getting
of you.
down at the very end. Okay, Linda, did you have a question for Maria?
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I observe that you are aware of all of the possible kinds of things you're going to be needing to address, and you are not allowing them to overwhelm you, but taking the most important things one at a time and surrounding yourself by the people, positive people who can support you in what you're doing. And this book, the E-Myth, and this other book that you mentioned are resources that help you to keep on track and evaluate yourself. In the process of what you're doing, you're connecting with people who also are helping you evaluate what you're doing and how you're doing it. Very interesting. Thank you
Thank you,
for
Linda.
participating.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
You're about to be kind of blown away. I just emailed you something from a Chicago Food Expo that I looked into last year, and I can't do it. It's too big for me. But
Okay.
it's closer to you, where you
Yeah.
are, and you might know a name or two from the culinary side. So you are welcome to take that ball and run with it, because the busy
Okay.
bee thing is not ready to go on that. So we're in
Okay.
our last few minutes. So
Yeah.
what's coming up with the sauce company, saucing it and everything? You know, what's the big thing for 2026?
The big thing is our battle count, and that is going to be 25,000. That is my goal.
Cool.
25,000 sold across all channels. We have a new flavor that launched today called Unforgettable, as you can
Oh,
see. Yes. It's a
okay.
Serrano hot sauce. Um,
Ooh.
so if anyone knows what pho is,
Mm.
PHO, just raise your hand or put a
Yeah.
celebratory emoji in the
Vietnamese.
chat
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
clap. Um, it's got white distilled vinegar, onion, rice vinegar, fish sauce, lime juice, and it's got the classic spices. So think fennel seed, black cardamom. You got coriander. You have star anise. You have cinnamon. All of those wonderful aromatics that pho has, even ginger in it. All just bottled into one hot sauce. Now, I've really found I put it on my eggs this morning and it's fabulous. Oh my God.
Cool.
I have a lot of people putting it into soup and chicken even. Cherry hot sauce will be coming back this summer. So we made
Cool.
this, we made a limited run for a event we're doing on Saturday.
Mm.
And yeah, just really expanding and growing the business to reach that bottle goal and create amazing products and just curate more relationships.
That sounds fantastic. It really, really is. Thank you. Definitely. Thank you
One
so
last
much.
question, Tim.
Yes, yes, Sandra.
What about a sampler pack? Do you sell anything like that, like smaller bottles and sort of like a tasting kits?
So I don't have a tasting kit. I
Oh.
used to bottle. So since we bottle everything by hand, it
Mhm.
is so hard to bottle in 2-ounce bottles with
Right.
the hot sauce. I've done it before. It's double the labor and the same amount of price as it would be for the 5-ounce bottles. So
Mhm.
honestly, it saves you, the consumer, and me time and money. So we have a complete crush sampler pack. I call it a sampler pack, even though you get the 5-ounce bottles, but you know, you get the full Maria experience that way. And it comes with all 4 of our, or all 5 or 6 of our core products.
All 6?
Yeah, so
What are you
all
selling
6
that
would
for?
be 55.
That's still a great
So
deal. That's yeah.
So besides the 4 core hot sauces of smoking hot sauce, taco, verde, island affair, and spicy honey,
Mm.
by the way, we have a chili flake that runs seasonally. And once that's out, that's out. So that is our complete crush pack that you can get. So that's a full Maria experience. The unforgettable, you can always add on for $10 more. So that brings
Cool.
you to 65 for all of those 7 products.
That's cool. I've only had pho twice, and they were kind of okay. If you made something for pho, it's going to make pho a whole lot more palatable. I guarantee that. Well, all right then. All right. Well, let's finish this thing up. Let's give our speaker another round of applause. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Maria, for
guys.
joining us and telling us your story. And I'm so looking forward to your next steps. We're going to have to do a live together and just kind of bounce stuff off. I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. So now our next
Thank you,
session is be
Chrissy.
session 12. That's going to be on the 18th of this month from Jackie Cam Blackard out of St. Louis. How I Met My Partner. So we shall see what kind of stories that she comes up there. And I know you had at least one sale tonight, Maria. So
Sounds good.
so at least more than notoriety, you actually got a sale tonight. So
Yeah.
so thank you so much again. I'll be doing all the uploads for the video. I don't know if the Facebook thing worked because Facebook didn't like us tonight.
That's a bummer.
But we do have two different videos that I'm going to work with. I'll probably piece them together, and we might have a little transition, but it'll be okay. So
Sure. Sounds good.
great. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much again, Maria. I will see you on TikTok. All right.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Follow Maria's hot sauce.
Yes,
everyone.
Maria's hot sauce. Exactly. It's in the chat. You can see that there too. So wonderful. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Have a
Bye.
good night. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Cynthia, Chrissy, everybody.
You're
Linda,
welcome.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.